call this meeting to order. Mr. Palladino, please call the roll.
All right. Trustee Dattis.
Here.
Trustee Jacko.
Here.
Trustee Tunis.
Here.
Trustee Velez.
Here.
Trustee Williams.
Here.
Vice President Benamini.
Here.
President Munoz.
Here.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend meetings of this board, except where specifically exempted by law, at which time any business affecting their interest can be discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having same advertised in the Belleville Times. Also, notice of this meeting has been mailed to the members of the Board of Education, the Borough Clerk, all elementary schools, the middle school, the high school, Hornblower Early Childhood Center, and posted on the district website. Also, this meeting is being televised via the district's YouTube and Facebook pages.
Thank you, Mr. Palladino. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for May 16?
Motion. Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Palladino, call the roll.
Trustee Dattis.
Yes.
Trustee Jacko.
Yes.
Trustee Tunis.
Yes.
Trustee Velez.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Benamini.
Yes.
President Munoz.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our student representative to give their report. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sofia Bojorquez, and I'm the SGO president. Thank you for being here today. Here's a recap of what's happening now in our school. In old news, on April 30th, the Mr. and Mrs. Belleville pageant was hosted at the BHS Connie Francis Auditorium. We congratulate the new Mr. and Mrs. Belleville. There was a district-wide dress-down day on May 13th to support the senior class of 2022. On May 11th, BHS hosted a concert night with performances by our BHS band, choir, and orchestra. The attendance and support was beyond amazing. The AP exams were taken from May 4th to May 12th. And in new news, the NJSLA testing has begun this week for ELA, science, and math. Senior prom will be held at Nanina's in the Park on May 18th. And there will be a senior barbecue on June 5th. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great job. We're going to go ahead and move on to items presented by the administration. Dr. Tomko.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our May meeting. I can't believe we're almost at the end of the school year. It really has been an incredible year, and I guess I won't see you until after, just before graduation. So we have a few things. We have a few recognition exercises tonight with regards to athletics and some of our academic teams. So we're really excited about what all of our students are doing, all of our teachers are doing. There's just a lot of electricity here in district. Even though we constantly are looking to better ourselves in almost every single area, we still understand that the core values of family, diversity, and again, academic prowess are the most important. So we continue to do that. I want to thank everyone that you see on our agenda tonight. Tonight is the May meeting where we hire our incredible faculty and staff back. Everyone there gives more than their possible share for your kids. So this is an appreciation to all of them that are on there today. We, or I could say I at least can speak for the board in saying that we are a family first, and just like families argue and have differences of opinion, at the end of the day, we come together and do what's best for your kids. So I'm very proud of the work everyone is doing here and those recommendations that I'm making tonight. As you see on the agenda, I appreciate the board's support on that and all of the hard work that these board members up here tonight, every single one of them, giving volunteer time, no pay in it at all. Obviously, as you see, sometimes we're up here, we get yelled at and things like that. We don't get a lot of positive feedback from certain individuals every month, but at the same time, they're still day after day working for your kids. So I appreciate everyone in this district, and I say that now as we move into June. We have a few things coming up that you could take note of. Obviously, what's really important is to everyone in the elementary field right now, the health and phys ed curriculum. The board and I and our directors and our writers, our curriculum writers, are working on all the curriculums now as we speak. There are numerous, there's several curriculums that we are revising. We revise curriculum every year, but the one that it's on everyone's mind right now is that health and phys ed curriculum for the elementary schools, for elementary students with regard to some changes. And I think it's important that we sit down as a community and you all allow me to discuss what those changes are, maybe educate some of you a little bit as opposed to some of the rhetoric that's out there, because we know sometimes it gets a little fuzzy, right? When we look at social media. So the board and our administration is doing its due diligence. We waited for enough time for the commissioner to speak, and she really hasn't yet, so she's leaving it up to local agencies, which is not a surprise to me. So it's our turn. So on June 15th, you'll be getting a reminder of this, but on June 15th here in the auditorium, I think it's around 6 o'clock or 5:30-ish, we'll be having some pizza and refreshments here for all of you to go over some of the stuff that's moving forward with regard to that health and phys ed curriculum. I want to hear what you have to say before we write it. We haven't even started yet. We did that on purpose because those of you who know me more than a few minutes know that I really do take your input very seriously, because these are your children, and we'll also talk about the opt-out and et cetera. So we will remind you, but that's June 15th. We will also be, I think, talking about certain other issues with dress code. I'll be doing some focus groups with students and parents and community. It's going to be a very tight time frame. The board is asking me to get some more documentation or more voice of you all, so look forward to that too. And then just some other great things. This summer we're going to try to celebrate with a community barbecue. We usually have a board barbecue, but we're going to invite the entire community, I think, this time, because that pandemic is past us now. We need to really celebrate what this district did for everyone. So in this community. So again, I appreciate everyone and progress. Thank you. Oh, let me keep going? Oh, sorry. All right, first let's call up Mr. Mara, our Director of Athletics, to talk about our students who receive some accolades, our student athletes receive accolades in the winter sports season, some conference awards. So, Mr. Mara.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to need a little help here passing out, so I'm going to ask some part of the administrative team from the high school. Mr. Blodnick, Ms. Calhoun, please come up here to help. Thank you. All right, first we're going to start with the boys bowling team. Coach Sheridan could not be here. Right now, he's actually playing, well, he's not playing, but his team is playing against Kearney. He told me today the varsity team, believe it or not, beat Kearney today in volleyball. They're number 8 in the state, and we just beat them 2-0. So that's a great win for the boys volleyball team. Boys bowling, first team American Division. We have Aiden Carrero. Where's Aiden? Aiden's a freshman on first team. First team American Division, we have Logan Kutlu. Yep. Second team American Division bowling, Dominic Capoletti. And second team American Division, we have Joshua Aberson. Congratulations to boys bowling on a great year. Parents, you can take pictures if you want. This is the time. Ms. Calhoun's going to tell you how to take pictures now, guys. done. Next, we have girls bowling. First team American Division, Emily Luzak. And second team American Division, we have Jayla Nguyen. Congratulations, girls bowling. Next, we have boys wrestling. All right, there's a bunch of these. Here we go. Coach, you want to come down? Coach Pizzy's going to help out. All right. First team, Liberty Division, 106 pounds, Jacob Ferrer. First team, Liberty Division, 113 pounds, Lorenzo Tafuri. First team, Liberty Division, 120 pounds, Leopold Hans Tianki. First team Liberty Division, 157 pounds, Diego Rivera. Diego's going a long way. All right, Diego. You don't have to run. There's not practice. He's ready. Got to love the wrestlers. Second team Liberty Division, 132 pounds, not Rocco Negron. Rocco represented the Belleville wrestling team down in Atlantic City as a sophomore last year. He told me he's going to get there the next 2 years, no doubt about it. 165 pounds, Fernando Collado, second team. Second team Liberty Division, 175 pounds, Ethan Lopez. Honorable mention, Liberty Division, 126 pounds, Francesco Lombardo. And honorable mention, 138 pounds, Matthias Lopez. Last but not least, this year, the NJSIA Wrestling District 9 coaches voted our coach, Joe Pizzy, the District 9 NJSIA Wrestling Coach of the Year. I want to present him with this plaque for his Coach of the Year award. Ready to wrestle? Don't wrestle wrestlers. They go after you. It's a good problem like that. But take your time. Yeah, that's what you're good at. It's hot as hell in here, bro. Take your time, guys. That's all right. That's all right. Put him in the picture. He's going to be a wrestler. So cute. Congratulations to the wrestling team. Awesome job, guys. Next, we have boys basketball. I know Coach Balls. I saw Coach Balls and Coach Antab. Please come down to help out. First team Colonial Division, we have Nasir Bey. Second team Colonial Division, we have Ethan Laquidonum. You might want to take a picture. Stand this side, yeah. Second team, Colonial Division. Unfortunately, it's Richmond Casino. Richmond cannot be here because he was busy beating on Kearney today in volleyball, so he's a dual sport athlete, but Richmond Casino. Honorable mention, Colonial Division, we have Terrence Folks. Is Terrence here? And honorable mention, Colonial Division, Shane Laquindonum. Is Shane here? Congratulations to boys basketball. We have girls left. Last but not least, we have our girls basketball team. For girls basketball, we have first team Freedom Division. We have Camila Cortez Alonso. Second team Freedom Division basketball, we have Gianna Da Silva. And finally, honorable mention, Freedom Division, Taina Carasquillo. Congratulations to the girls basketball team. All right, and that's it for winter sports. Thank you, guys.
Let's give another round of applause for Mr. Mara, coaches, and all of our athletes. One more round of applause. Great job, everyone. Thank you for your commitment. Parents, you too, thank you for your commitment. All right, we do have another group of students we are going to recognize tonight, so I'd like to call Ms. Calhoun back up here. I should have let you walk all the way down. There it is. And Dr. Alfano. Doc, there she is. Come on up, Samsung.
Dr. Alfano has a beautiful speech prepared, and I'll assist with the certificates.
So I would like to thank you for inviting me to speak tonight and to present our students with their National Semifinalist Awards. Before I speak about our students, I'd like to thank the Board of Education for all of your support, Dr. Tomko, Dr. D'Elia, Mr. Palladino, all of the amazing staff in central office, our high school staff and administrators, Caleb Rhodes, Maria Calhoun, Mr. Blodnick, all of the faculty and staff at Belleville High School, especially members of the science department. A special thanks to Mr. Mara and Coach Johnson, who have helped me develop as a coach over the last few years, and to Frank Schifano and Brian Sheridan for assisting with the Samsung competition teams. Thank you to our parents for all of their support. This year's team is quite large, and it also has a lot of freshmen and sophomores, so that's very exciting for us for the upcoming. In the last 3 years, the Solve for Tomorrow teams have won over $100,000 in prize money. This year, the students won around $9,000 in cash and prizes. and they have decided to use that money in various STEM Zen projects. So we look forward to seeing those come out. There's one particular person that I would like to recognize, especially with our students. She has been instrumental in the last few years with helping me understand the role of editing in film. I don't know what I'm going to do next year. I thank you so much for teaching me about how to storyboard and how to tell a story. It is something that I did not know how to do several years ago, so I thank you so much. I'd like to recognize Naomi Soto. She is the chief editor and head of photography. No crying, because then I'll cry. Our project managers this year, both 10th graders. A project manager has to be able to stay calm, to think and to breathe, and most of all, to kind of control chaos. I'd like to thank both of our project managers, and I'd like to recognize them, Christina Bayuz and Jake Santos. I guess who couldn't be here tonight. No. Also, Jessica Asmi, who is one of the assistants, who is just amazing at keeping everyone together. I would, next the group is the freshman engineers, the group leaders. The group leaders have shown exceptional grace, and we are just really excited to see what you guys have for us next year. Dominic Capitelli, Avelina Thau, Tristan Hardgrove, Jedediah Monroe, Ethan Wynn, and Angela Toretto. Tristan Hardgrove. Oh, there's more. Our 10th grade engineers, our engineering students are just absolutely showing such qualities of wonderful mathematicians and engineers. Jasleen Arez, Christopher Campidi, Jonathan Quito, James Monroe, and Roman Veshlung. No, that's Jasleen. Roman. I'm going to call the next group. All right, our 9th grade engineering students who were in charge of all of the background information and pulling a lot of the literature, brainstorming. writing scripts. Joshua Calahulio, Charles Chibai, Kevin Chumbumbe, Michaela Sneeze, Matthew Duluce, Alexa Doxic, Marjeline Ensabo, Alexander Gonzalez, Michael Hernandez, Allison Laria, Jennifer Lopez, Ariana Nevada, Cecily Naves, Andrew Pavada, Carol Quinzada, Jolena Santiago, Thomas Terran, Elena Vasquez, and Claudia Valuz. Yeah, I think they. Jeslin's over there. Jeslin's behind you. Last but certainly not least are our coding students. Coding is giving the ability to a machine to perform tasks. We start with lighting a light bulb, running a motor. These particular freshmen have really shown their amazing capabilities. I am so incredibly proud of all of them. Amin, Amar Mina, Sebastian Leone, Andrew Rivera, Aileen Roldan, Elias Pravia, Aaron Toledo, Michael Para, Richard Tanzares, Vincent Pham, Eric Sanchez, Yandel Rosario, Armand Rodriguez, Aiden Rodriguez, Gabriela Rodas, Gabriel Rivera, Carlos Rivera, Elijah Pickering, Jadine Nover, Matthew Najar, and Shayla Murdoch. Guys, yeah, just go. Here, why don't you guys start coming this way so that you can line up, okay?
Yeah, just keep working your way up against the wall and we'll all line up together. Awesome.
Like, do 2 rows.
Yeah, we'll just get all lined up and yeah, nice big picture. You guys want to go at the end? Yeah. So you want to? Yeah. Yeah. So
So thank you and congratulations to the 2022 semifinalists.
some in the front. We'll kneel down a little bit. Yes.
Let's hear it one more time for Samsung. Great job, everyone. A lot of hard work. We appreciate you. Parents, congratulations. Dr. Alfano, great job. Ms. Calhoun, great job putting that together at the end there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Great job. Great job. Mr. Palladino, would you be able to give the state monitor report from Mr.
Sure,
Egan?
thank you. As you all know, Mr. Egan's watching via the district's Facebook and YouTube pages. Mr. Egan has reviewed the financial reports for the month of April 2022 provided by the district's treasurer of school monies, and he certifies that there are sufficient funds to get the district through the end of the school year, which is June 30th, 2022. And then lastly, Mr. Egan's reviewed the agenda and supports all the recommendations being presented by the superintendent of schools, especially all those pertaining to personnel and finance.
Thank you, Mr. Palladino, for the report from the state monitor. I just want to give a heads up to the community that we have actually pulled an item from the agenda, and let me just give you a specific number that we have pulled from the agenda. We have item number 7.40. That one will be pulled from this agenda, and it will not be discussed during this meeting. Just want to give everyone the notice. It's terrific. All right. All right. So moving forward, can I have a motion to open remarks by citizens, please?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So, I, the board president, will call the individuals who wish to speak in the order that they appear in the sign-in roster. The individual called to be heard shall proceed with his or her comments as briefly as the subject permits for a maximum of 3 minutes at the podium. All inquiries must be directed at the board president of education. Ruben Rodriguez, we'll pass into the next. Okay. Mr. Michael Sheldon.
Good evening, everyone. Michael Sheldon, 47 Floyd Street. I have a few questions regarding agenda items tonight in no particular order. Firstly, 10.37, which indicates that you're going to have the exterior of the high school painted or repainted for $55,000. Could you please give us a little bit more detail regarding exactly what is about to be painted? And I do hope and pray that the new window units are not included in part of that paint job. Next item is 10.43. This is the reappointment of the bond counsel that we've had in place for the last several years, Walentz and Spitzer. I wanted to know if this bond counsel has already had or will have any involvement with the currently active shared services bond agreement with the town council. I also would like to know, I had brought this up back at the beginning of the year after Moody's increased our bond rating a little bit. I had asked back in January if Willits and Spitzer were possibly going to try to renegotiate the terms of the referendum from 2017. As I have pointed out ad nauseum, that referendum had a nominal value of $48.5 million, but due to the cost of borrowing, it actually cost us $73.5 million. Back in January, there was some indication that you were going to have that discussion with bond counsel, even possibly bring them in to speak to the community about what they might be able to do. I would like an update on that. Agenda items 9.19 and 9.20, you have job descriptions for 2 new positions, a reading and math interventionist. I assume that this is in response to the Start Strong report, which Dr. Tomko presented earlier this year. That report obviously was in the wake of the impact that COVID had upon student performance. I don't have that report in front of me right now, but I do remember that it indicated that upwards of 70% of our students in grades 3 through 8, as far as math is concerned, were judged to be at high risk of failure, weren't even coming close to grade level expectation. So I would like to know a little bit more about exactly what these interventionist positions are going to do. I couldn't really glean that from the job descriptions. All right, 7.40 is already off the agenda. I had a question about 10.1, which is marked as maintenance repair services for the district's intercom, PA, and clock systems, not to exceed $50,000. All of these systems are brand new. This was an integral part of the referendum. So why do we need to? I know there's a threshold of $50,000, but are these systems, which are only a couple years old, already starting to show failure? Because it seems like an awful lot of money that's being appropriated to do repair work on things that are brand new. I have a lot of other questions, but my time is up. I'll continue it in the second session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sheldon. Dr. Tompkins, would you like to answer any of those?
Yeah. The Bingham agreement that you just referenced with regard to the systems are there for just repairs throughout the year, and I think some additional units that may need to occur with regard to some of the new spaces we're doing, that we're having throughout the district. So that's just a not to exceed order. I think it's 100, is it 140 an hour or 180, 140? It's either 140 or 180 an hour. I'm sorry, it's in the agreement, which when it's approved will be public record. But it's just a not to exceed order for any type of insurance issue that we may have. It's an insurance issue for what we may have with the PA and clock systems. With regard to the, let's go back to 1037. 1037 was the exterior of the high school. We've been talking about this for years now with regard to painting around, I guess, the lintel area, not the windows, obviously, but the breakaways in between the windows, all of that area that we try to power wash. Any place that you see that was painted that like salmon-esque color. So no, it would not be the windows. And again, this is something that's been in, we've kind of put off for a while. Then COVID happened, so we're excited to finally complete that outside project there. 43, Len Spitzer, you are correct, Mr. Sheldon. We had a little. We have a call into bond counsel the next couple of weeks with regard to the original bonds. We had some personnel issues with the back and forth, so we're going to be talking to them regarding our original bonds referendum. They are not involved in the bonds with the municipality. It's a different company. I can't remember the name of the. Do you remember the name of the company? I can't remember the name of the company, but whoever the town has, it's their bonds, so we're not really using them. We have used them when we first went out for some initial information with regard to the bonds, but they're not involved in the bond purchases or sales for the shared service agreement. The learning loss reports and the 2 new positions that you see with the interventionists are basically positions created through response to intervention, also known now typically as RTI, which has been going on for 100 years, but now we call it something specific. And I think COVID really had a lot of districts jump on this. There are several tiers to interventions that teachers can provide for students that are, for lack of a better term, diagnosed with some deficiencies or remediation needs in certain areas. We have the approval of a supervisor tonight for that as well to oversee interventionists, and you're going to see probably 6 or 7 interventionists be utilized throughout the district next year with regard to making sure that we put the theory into practice. All the data is incredible. All the data that we scrub and we utilize and we put up on nice slides for you is great, but if it's not happening in the classrooms, it means nothing, right? So, if COVID leveled the playing field for us academically among different townships, we now have to rebuild from that. So, making sure that RTI is part of our daily terminology now. We need to also make sure we have specialists in there, assistant teachers with that. So that's what you'll see moving forward. We do have some approvals for the board next meeting, and we are still going to be conducting interviews for other individuals as well. And I think it's just going to add to the whole trajectory of what we've been doing here academically to provide interventions for students with regard to instructional coaches, now the supervisor piece, all the trainings that we've done, bringing back some of the reading specialists, quote unquote, with Orton Gillingham and other things that you may have heard with your children, putting together the RISE period that we did several years ago, all in preparation for times like this, not knowing COVID was coming, but kind of forces it a little bit. Every district has had a learning loss. Those reports that the DOE sent out are obviously there to pinpoint certain needs of children, but again, nothing different in Belleville. So we are definitely excited about those additions as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have the Junior Women's Club. Can I have the representative just announce themselves, please?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Brenda, and I'm one of the members of the Junior Women's Club.
Hello, Brenda.
And we're here today to present, in honor of May being Mental Health Awareness Month, the Junior Women's Club of Belleville would like to present each elementary school library, as well as the middle school, these books. We have 2 books that are grade reading level 5 to 8. Book number 1 is O.C. Daniel by Wesley King. Tells a story about a young boy named Daniel who spends most of his time trying to get nobody to notice him and his strange habits. He calls them zaps, avoiding writing the number 4, the number 6. For example, flicking the light switch on and off about 12, 13 times, and all the great adventures that he goes through. Book number 2 is When the World Turned Upside Down by B. Iborra. Is set against the onset of COVID. The story conveys about community, about giving back, about understanding the world around us throughout the power of generosity while navigating issues of race, social justice. It's a heartwarming story of generosity, friendship, and power to the youth. By donating these books to the individual schools to be used in whatever capacity the building principal seems fit, we hope that the knowledge and powers of these stories will help our students understand diversity, acceptance, and to understand the differences that people with different traits bring to the table. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President, if I could just clarify for the record, I understand that this may be the gentlelady's first time or Brenda's first time addressing the board. Just in the future, ma'am, just because we're trying to keep some semblance of procedure here, your comments, because they don't have to do with the agenda, should be coming at the next section. Not that you're necessarily, I appreciate that you are listening to us. These rules can be hard to follow sometimes, but we just want to make sure that agenda items are addressed first, and then we have a second comment period in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. So we're going to bring up Laura Caruso. Hello.
And so I'm just going to go. So Laura Caruso, 139 Cedar Hill Avenue. I'm wanting to know when the hours of Claremont Fields are open during the week and on the weekends. Every time I've tried to walk on the track, the gates are locked. The only time they seem to be open is when there's a practice or a game. So we pay a lot of tax dollars, so I'm hoping I could get access to the new track.
Thank you for your question. If you're okay, we're going to address your comments during the last session, just to kind of maintain order of how the process should go. But thank you for your comment. So may I have a motion to close public participation?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we're going to move on to personnel. May I have a motion on 7.1 to 7.39 and 7.41 to 7.42?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Palladino, please call the roll.
Trustee Dattis.
Yes.
Trustee Jacko.
I have a question. Can you explain to us the duties of the director, the assistant director, Dr. Tomko, please?
Yes, Madam President. I'm sorry, Ms. Jacko.
Ooh.
I just gave you a promotion, sorry. Through the chair, through the president. The assistant to the athletic director is not an assistant athletic director position. He or she will be assisting through the athletic director with certain facilities oversight, most specifically the indoor training facility. We will need someone there all day, from probably 3 o'clock on, to oversee whether teams are in there or when we rent it out to other organizations or recreation and other municipal venues, et cetera. So that will be sort of like the oversight for athletics in the evening. So that's why that person will be under the umbrella of the athletic director. So the job description does not call for an administrative certification. It's basically just an oversight position of someone within the district. There will also be security guard there. I think there'll be either a trainer or a nurse at times when there are students there as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jocko. Your vote?
Yes.
Trustee Tunis.
Yes.
Trustee Velez.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Benamini.
Yes.
President Munoz.
Yes. Thank you. Can I have a motion on curriculum and instructions? Item 8.1 to 8.3.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Palladino, please call the roll.
Trustee Dattis.
Yes.
Trustee Jacko.
Yes.
Trustee Tunis.
Yes.
Trustee Velez.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Benamini.
Yes.
President Munoz.
Yes, sir. Moving on to board action and board policy. Can I have a motion on 9.1 to 9.21, please?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Palladino, please call the roll.
Trustee Dattis.
Yes.
Trustee Jacko.
Yes.
Trustee Tunis.
Yes.
Trustee Velez.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Benamini.
Yes.
President Munoz.
Yes, sir, thank you. Moving on to purchasing and business services. May I have a motion on 10.1 to 10.48?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Palladino, please call the roll.
Sure. Trustee Dattis.
Yes.
Trustee Jacko.
Yes.
Trustee Tunis.
Yes.
Trustee Velez.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Benamini.
Yes.
President Munoz.
Yes. We're moving on to finance. May I have a motion on 11.1 to 11.11?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Mr. Palladino, please call the roll.
Trustee Dattis.
Yes.
Trustee Jacko.
Yes.
Trustee Tunis.
Yes.
Trustee Velez.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Vice President Benamini.
Yes.
President Munoz.
Yes, thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to remarks by citizen. May I have a motion to open the floor?
Motion.
Second.
Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Yes, please, thank you. Okay. Yes, can you actually answer Ms. Caruso, please?
Yes, through the chair. Ms. Caruso's question was about Clearman Field. So we've been We've opened it back up again. Board President, we had direction because we had some vandalism, but it's been open for the past several weeks, I think, now, from 3 o'clock probably till when the lights go out. I think it's like 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night, and on the weekends it's 8 o'clock in the morning. So, and we have guards that are there patrolling. There are kids that are on the field. So, I mean, during the day it's not open during the week because school's in session. So it unfortunately can't be open. It's a closed campus. But from 3 o'clock, I'll double check. But I mean, we just kind of verified this the other day because we do have now our security team, and something we're going to be talking to the municipality about, kind of bouncing back and forth to all the sites. But we'll check with facilities again. But 3 to about 9, I guess, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then on the weekends, I'm pretty sure it's 8:30 in the morning until to the whole night. So, but it's not, unfortunately, not during the day. Yeah. If there's an event, it's not open either. Flag football event, it wouldn't be open either, unfortunately. If there's an event that's rented out, we don't have it open to the public. So. Okay, that's something we'll look into then. Apologize.
Mr. Ruben Rodriguez. My apologies. So I'm going to go ahead and read the order. The board president will call the individuals who wish to speak in the order that they appear in the sign-in roster. The individual called to be heard shall proceed with his or her comments as briefly as the subject permits, with a maximum of 5 minutes at the podium. All inquiries must be directed at the board president. Mr. Rodriguez, you have the floor.
Ruben Rodriguez, Cedar Hill Avenue. Just real quick, that made me think. I think when people ask if it's open, not all the gates are open. So, like, the side gates will all be locked, like on Home Street. So that where people might think it's not open, where, instead of having to walk all the way around. I'm sorry, I lost my track. I had a question about like, I see Section 7 is getting busier every month. Do you have like a big turnover problem with teachers, and is that like something you guys study and know? Like I know in my regular business life, we know our turnover, and it's a big deal on a performing or underperforming business. The health and phys ed program, I know you said you're gonna have a meeting on it on the 15th, and I know it's a whole jumbled ball of wax, but from everything we've seen, it just doesn't seem like a good idea, and I really wish we could get some pushback. Even if it's like you said, it's just symbolic, it would be really a big deal, because I can't believe everybody on this board is in favor of the new policy. And when you talk about phys ed, my children lately have been told like not to run at school. So I don't know if it's an issue in the backyard, if they're afraid of them falling down, but it seems like, we're worried about kids' phys ed and safety and health, but they can't even run and get some exercise on the days they do go out. Like, they seem to stay in a lot more than needed, with even a little threat of rain, they stay in a lot. Also with the teacher turnover, the reason I asked that is because it seems like lately the kids have been doing a lot of studying for like for the ELA tests. And when it comes to that, I just don't understand. I understand the tests are important, but it seems that it's supposed to be a test to see where they are. We're not supposed to be preparing for it, where it's taking away like other instructions. There's been sometimes if our teacher is absent, instead of having like an art period, they'll bang out some extra math or extra ELA to prepare for the test. And I just think it causes some undue stress for the kids if they're really being forced into it, especially if it doesn't affect their grades on the younger level. And there's a lot of confusion about that too. Other than that, I look forward to seeing you on the 15th. And is that going to be for the dress code and it's going to be like 2 separate ones? All right, that means extra pizza. And last thing with the election, the municipal elections being over, I just hope that we could get a commitment from all the board members. I don't think there's another municipal election for 2 years, if I'm not correct, but that we'll stay focused and recommit to this board. and do the jobs you all were elected to do. And one more thing I heard Dr. Tomko say in the beginning, I think I give you guys compliments more often than not. So. Oh, and I did have one more question. Sorry about that. Got time. What the hell? You said you were going to start a garden for the kids. The garden over here on the school you could sell the vegetables. Are they going to be able to do that and sell the vegetables at the new farmers market when the new farmers market comes too? Is that something they'll be able to do? A little stand for the fruit stand from the high school. I think that'd be cute.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. So just to kind of, I know Dr. Tomko answered a lot of your questions, but I just want to go back to your statement about the whole board being in favor of any policy that might be coming on. We purposely have not been speaking on this policy just because we really haven't gotten any direction as to if it's something that we have to implement, it's something that's going to be implemented for us and we have to follow along. So it's not so much that the board has we have collectively are all in favor of anything. I think it just comes out to the fact that we're looking for more direction, and that's why the first place that we're going to start is by engaging the parents and actually sitting here and actually having the conversations with you all, and then from there we move on to continuing the process from there on out. So just wanted you to know that that's our intention. Would you?
No, I think all those comments were good comments. I don't know if there's any questions in there really, but I do appreciate the positive that you do give us, and I do appreciate your help with that, pointing out that that wrong date too. Thank you very much. That was Mr. Parapato's fault. So. Well, no, I think so what you were just saying was about the testing. I think when we do have an absence. So what you're seeing on number 7 now is the May meeting where we have a lot of changes. This is the meeting that we have to advise people that they're coming back or not. We are expanding some of the positions, especially the interventionists, to help some of the students that are struggling. And there are times when we're getting close to a test that teachers give a little bit of extra boost because they want kids to kind of remember a concept. I mean, it's the scores do go up here, right? So the teachers, the teachers are teachers. They're trying to make sure that students feel confident. So I don't think it's a bad thing, but we don't teach the test here. But the last week is like a review or so. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I don't hold too much salt. I don't take too much seriousness with these last tests that we took after COVID. But there were so many different communities going through different things. I don't know how you kind of judge all of our kids through a learning loss. We're taking our kids one student at a time. We're going to have a push next year for more. You'll see in June some more counselors. We're moving some of our counselors around, so we're really invested in the mental health of our children now. More so, knowing now after a year of COVID, you know what I mean, like kind of where we're at. So I think you'll see a lot of that coming together. But stay tuned. I'll see you on the 15th.
Mr. Vincent Frantantoni?
Good evening. In regard to Clearman Field, May 8th marked 55 years. My wife and I in Belleville, one of the reasons we bought around the corner from Clearman Field because it was a nice recreation field and a school for our children. My niece and nephews and now my grandchildren love to come to Nanny and Papa's because right around the corner was a nice recreation field. So I don't understand, Dr. Tomko, for 55 years, people of all ages have played and walked while school was in session. When they had field days or the school was there, people were smart enough to not interfere with the school program. Now we spend all these millions on renovating it and we can't go there. It's just unbelievable. We spend all this money and we have less opportunities to use what we paid for. So I don't like that. My wife had to go to my granddaughter's, one of her events, so she couldn't make it tonight. But once again, I want to read from Pro Remodeler, just one of my trade magazines. Every single month, like I've told you before, there's articles about they can't get help. This one here, the latest employment data showed 380,000 open construction jobs, roughly 80,000 more openings than just a year ago. Every month, these things. A contractor builds homes in Texas. He could build 10 more homes a month. He can't get help. He can't get carpenters. He can't get electricians. He can't get plumbers. In Belleville alone, I know you live far away, Dr. Tomko, just take a ride one day down Washington Avenue or Lynn's Neat Stand, signs up for months. They need help in all fields, mechanics, salespeople. They can't get anything. Go down in Cortland and Droleman Street, the factory, there's about 7 to 10 businesses there. Every one of them has signs on the corner. Help wanted. They need drivers. They need carpenters. They need staff inside and all that. Go look at the restaurants. Help wanted. Go look right across the street on Dow Street where you were going to buy that property. That guy, the mechanic, the new mechanic there, it's 7 months now. He's got a sign. He can't get a mechanic. And we're not paying attention. Now, what was a great idea, if we really were concerned about children, that I'm going to call it idiotic recreation facility on Cortlandt Street, that building's an industrial zone. That would have been the perfect place for a wood shop, which would give our kids a job. And as this thing, this Build Academy, National Remodelers Building, there's a program. They have a 12-week hands-on intensive training program for carpenters and others. 12 weeks, and they're qualified to go from day one with employment skills that are in record demand. 12 weeks. So we spend 12 years and we're not teaching the right things. So once again, are we going to do what's needed in America? And again, I quote, I've said it before, the U.S. Labor Department, 81% of all the jobs in America do not require a college education. What are you going to do about this? Are we going to get trades back in the school? Or are we going to just push these high-pollutant degrees that all they can do after they finish them is wave around their piece of paper? Are we going to get trades in the school? That's my question. Can I get an answer tonight? Okay, here we go. Thanks for the openness that you were going to, transparency, Dr. Tomko. Remember that word you use quite often? We don't see it in Belleville.
Yes, so please.
Yeah, through the chair. I mean, now I'll be transparent, Mr. Frantantoni, because now you're done with your questions. First, let's talk about the Cortland project with regard to the indoor training facility, which we've talked about several times, which we think is important, which there's nothing around for our students here. You know, I grew up around here, lived here for 30 some odd years, right across the river, spent a little bit of time in Belleville back in the day. And I've said when the board hired me here 7 years ago, I said my opportunity here is to make sure that every student here has the same ability or the same opportunities as every student in every other district. So that's why you're seeing the horticultural program, you're seeing all those things. My children have the ability to train and be physically fit and build morale and mental awareness in these indoor facilities. I'm sure you know individuals that have that ability too. Maybe some people in your own family have that ability. The students in Belleville and the community members here also have that ability now because of the actions of this board. So that's number one. We've expanded the woodshop program over the past 5 years, just so you are aware of that. And I think we're probably going to be utilizing that. The old STEM lab, which we created, which was the former, was it the auto shop, I guess? The auto shop will be now we're trying to make that into a second wood shop area. We have a vocational school in Essex County now that millions of dollars of your county tax money that our students can utilize. We've expanded the culinary program. We've talked about it. You bring up Dowd Street all the time. Obviously, we try to make that work, but now we're going to be leasing part of down by State Fair. We're going to be leasing an area there for our culinary program, our culinary academy. We have a counselor here that's dedicated to secondary pathways, getting internships in all those areas. I know we partner with local mechanics. I mean, some of those for sale, some of those help wanted signs unfortunately don't affect our population of kids. They're not old enough. I wish they would. You know, I have teenage children too, and there's certain sanctions on jobs and whatnot. So we can't. We're more into internships and learning now than just working at some of those jobs because of dangerous. There's some dangerous things happening. We have a CTE program that Mr. Lipo is working to enhance as much as he can. Junior ROTC program. There's a bunch of stuff happening vocationally here, so I appreciate you bringing it up so I have the ability to spotlight it. Again, I don't really know how else to talk about more opportunity except for what we continue to do here as a board and an administration. Clearman Field for 50 years being open as a recreational hangout, basically unsupervised, is why we can't have it the way it is anymore. Every year I was here, we were putting at least $10,000, $12,000 worth of clay just to cover the holes that people were digging to put like volleyball nets in there or have picnics or whatever it is. Dangerous. We had lawsuits. People were falling downstairs. The fencing had barbed wire on it. I don't know. There's really not much more to talk about. I think it's the ability now to talk. What line? What? I'm telling you exactly what's happened. It's all happened. There was still barbed wire until we just took it off. I don't know what you're talking about. There's barbed wire right behind the building. It's still there. I don't know what street that is. What is it? New Street. It's been there. It was there for 50 years. I mean, that's right there. I mean, trying to be transparent. And you're telling me it's not happening. I think 100 people could tell you it was there. So again, I mean, that field now is beautiful. We open up as much as we can. I appreciate Ms. Caruso telling us that it wasn't open. I'm going to get on it. We've had some vandalism there. There's bathrooms there now. There's new locker rooms. There's a concession stand that they're opening up. These are incredible things for the public. So lights, Mr. Sheldon talks about the lights. He was a big proponent of that, probably was the proponent of that. We weren't expecting to do that. The board supported that. So these are just incredible things. And yes, it has to be locked during the day for safety reasons. Unfortunately, we couldn't before because there were holes in the fences and all that other stuff. So, but again, that's progress and that's transparency. So again, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk about it. Thank you.
If I can ask, one of the things you mentioned was the auto program, because I know we've talked about that before, just because that was one of my favorite things when I was here in high school. Can we just kind of clarify what the reason why we don't have it and what it would take to have one and how we're working around not being able to have that in the building?
Yes. Auto programs now are very computerized. That equipment's very expensive. We really don't have the space for it. The space that used to be here was really semi-approved for that. I mean, you're talking different exhausts and whatnot would have to be upgraded. The biggest issue we have is in the midst of everything that was happening in Belleville, and I believe the program was, I guess the word I'll use is dissolved 2 years before I got here, so about 9, 10 years ago now, with the creation of the Donald Payne Vocational School. I mean, it's just an incredible state-of-the-art facility. So for our students to be able to go there, which they do have the ability to go there if they wanted to, it's very tough to compete with that. So I think that's another issue. But space-wise and equipment-wise, approval-wise, we would have to actually get a garage and then get licensed mechanics. There's a big CTE approval for that. So we're just once we stopped it, it was really difficult to come back. That's basically it.
Thank you. Mr. Sheldon.
Good evening again. Thank you for the clarification regarding agenda item 10.37. That was the painting of the exterior of the high school. I'm glad to learn that it's also including power washing. That's what, 60. I don't think the high school has ever been power washed since its inception, and you may have 60 plus years of accumulated dirt. Once that debris is removed, you may not need to do much painting at all. We'll see. I'm also, thank you for the clarification regarding the reading and math interventionists. I guess my real concern was that the interventionists really are to make an initial assessment, perhaps some sort of IEP, but they wouldn't be necessarily working individually with each student because, again, based on the Start Strong report you gave at the beginning of the year, there are just too many students who are obviously in need of supplemental instruction, and a single interventionist would never be able to address the needs of that many students. You would need virtually a small army of interventionists. So that was one concern I had. I hate to bring up the word COVID, but I noticed that a number of districts throughout the state are seeing significant upswings in rates of COVID infection. Knock on wood, Belleville right now seems to be escaping this, but if Jonathan Bush isn't aware of it, earlier today, Metuchen, Mr. Bush is also mayor of Metuchen reinstated its mask mandates for its students. Hopefully we won't have a need to do that here in Belleville. Another agenda item that I wanted to ask about, but I didn't have time earlier, was 10.4, which is perennial presence here in Belleville, Phoenix Associates. And it just lists that they're being hired to deal with referendum bond filings and notices not to exceed $1,500. Now, I wanted to ask, does that have anything to do with the existing referendum? Are they possible? Is that? I'm hoping that our bond counsel tells us in a few weeks from now that they have found a way to reduce the interest rates for the referendum, saving all of us a small fortune in the process, and if Phoenix is going to also be involved with that process. Agenda item 10.24, this is an interesting new piece of technology that's apparently going to come into Belleville. Apparently you're going to purchase license plate readers, 3 of them for the high school and 1 for the middle school. I have no problem with that, but is this something that is just a routine requirement on the part of the state DOE that they want high schools and middle schools to have this sort of technology in place, or is this to address some developing vandalism problems, as has already been mentioned tonight? Unfortunately, Claremont Field has been the target of some stupid vandalism events. You try to give the community something really nice, and unfortunately, there are always a few bad apples in the group that go out of their way to destroy it for everyone else. But if you're going to have license plate readers at the high school and middle school, perhaps you buy 4, get the 5th one free, maybe get something for the Claremont Field area. I don't want to talk about security issues and so forth, but it's pretty good guarantee that there is some security present around Claremont Field, but maybe to upgrade that a little bit more and make it more visible, put signage up so that any person intent on ruining Claremont Field would have it in their face that this field is being monitored 24/7, just to help discourage any additional vandalism. Lastly, 10.45, you have a surveying company, Schmidt Surveying, doing a survey of 249 Washington Avenue. This is the former King's Window lot, which the board has now purchased for $775,000. Just a question to ask here, shouldn't the survey have been done before the purchase and not afterwards? So could you explain why you're having a survey done after you've already sought board approval to purchase the property? It seems that the sequence there is inverted. And lastly, several months ago I had asked that, Belleville's blessed that we have several PhDs and our teaching staff, including Dr. Alfano, and I had asked, I thought it would be really helpful, and I asked this of Dr. Tomko, for those folks who have PhDs to put a little section on the district's website showing more about the backgrounds of our PhD recipients, where they got their doctorates, and the titles of their dissertations. I, for one, would be more than happy to have that information available. I'd like to read about what our PhD level teachers have done in the way of original research. So if you could work on that in the months to come, I would greatly appreciate it. All right.
Thank you, Mr.
The
Sheldon.
the kind Michael Sheldon tonight. No combativeness.
Thank you, Mr. Sheldon. You know, and just kind of, I know he mentioned something a little when we were discussing power washing the buildings. I know we have power washed in middle school before. I just wanted to.
Just to clarify that, the washing comes prior to the painting, but we have power washed before, so this might just be painting, but I think we're probably gonna clean up some of it before you do it, but the middle school is a different situation because of its location. I mean, all the
Correct.
trucks and everything,
Correct.
and we can't do any acid wash, obviously,
Correct.
so we're doing the best we can there, but Matt and I have been talking to a few companies about some facade issues there, especially now with the new middle school coming together.
Correct.
You know.
No, I just thought it was a good opportunity to kind of emphasize the reason, part of the reason why, because I know there's certain part of our community doesn't know that we've actually taken on that expense in the past and have actually power washed that school.
Yes.
But given the high level of traffic and emissions that they put out, kind of causes the building to still kind of maintain that little bit of a black, gray buildup that it has. So
Yeah.
it was a good opportunity to kind of piggyback on that.
If I
But yeah,
had a couple, just a few other comments. We are monitoring COVID very closely. Our nurses continue to do an incredible job. With that, our numbers are low, knock on wood. Unfortunately, there are districts that are moving back to masks. Yes, Metuchen is the newest proponent of that. The license plate readers are something we are trying through our technology coordinators with Mr. Parapato. We are very proactive in the safety of our kids and faculty. This is not to get people, it's just to basically have another component. I don't know if everybody realizes that, where our buildings are situated, we do catch a lot of activity, even out. If you have a Ring doorbell, you know what I'm talking about, right? So we have like some really big Ring doorbells. So this is just another added way of ensuring that our students are safe. Those are two high traffic areas, so we're going to see how that works out. Again, it's not to catch anybody specifically, but it's just another form of safety. We're very cautious here with things, and we usually don't talk about a lot of that stuff. It's not really necessary, but we do have some really interesting safety things here that only our teachers and administrators are aware of that probably the public doesn't know, but this will be just another part of that toolbox. I am working, I actually did talk to Mr. Bush about this too, he may not remember, but we are working on possibly doing an academic section for those individuals who finished their dissertation. We have a lot of administrators now that are getting ready to defend. We have a lot of PhDs now. Well, not a lot. We have several PhDs in district, but that is something forthcoming, hopefully over the summer. So, thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to close public participation?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and move on to items and remarks and committee reports by the board members. Can I have Ms. Daddis for finance? If we didn't have a meeting, but you can remark.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out. As far as Finance Committee, we don't really have much to report. We didn't really have a meeting. I just want to say congratulations to everyone who got awards tonight. That's huge. I feel like this town is moving forward, and that's very exciting. And we have a lot of exciting things to come, so stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Jocko for personnel.
Thank you, President Moniz. Congratulations to Mr. Mara and all the athletic coaches for their winter sports, their success in the Super Essex Conference. Congratulations to all the students who participated in bowling, wrestling, volleyball, and basketball. I'm very proud of you, and keep up the good work. Congratulations to Dr. Alfano and the 21-2022 Samsung Sol for Tomorrow team. The children are definitely representing our school district well. As personnel chair, my report, I want to say welcome to all new hires and those that continue in our school district moving up in support of the success of our students. I am enthusiastic to see our school district embark with people that love our children and will work hard to make sure each of our students succeed. Changes are coming with new positions, as we saw tonight on the agenda, to expand the success in our school district, because we must afford each student with every opportunity possible. I wanted to report that on May 11th, 2022 was our Essex County School Boards Association meeting. This is my last meeting as the Essex County Vice President. I want to report we have new officers, 3 new officers, Vice President Jamie Ceruto, Vice President Phoenicia Johnson-Hill, and the alternate delegate, Catherine Weller-Deming. We also have the reelection of Ms. Josephine Garcia as our president on her 3rd year for Essex County School Boards. Hopefully she passes the torch soon. Congratulations, and I expect that they continue doing well. Mr. Frantantoni left again. Last time I spoke about Mr. Frantantoni and I addressed him. I know he likes to have us as trustees respond to him, not just Dr. Tomko or Mr. President Muniz. And I had at the last meeting asked Dr. Tomko and President Muniz to make sure that Mr. Frantantoni gets an email response to answer each of his questions that he had asked at our last meeting directly to us, and I wanted to make sure he had an email response to make sure that everything was clear. I hope he received that. Unfortunately, he didn't hear me then in my closing remarks, and he didn't hear me today, but I want him to make sure that he knows we are addressing the community. Each of us here I don't like to speak for the board as a whole, but I know that individually, I know everyone up here likes to make sure they handle their duties as trustees, and we are definitely all on board to be here for the kids in the community. I wanted to tell Mr. Frantantoni that I have previously addressed Dr. Tomko and our board president in the past to make sure that we have enough counselors per student ratio, because what we have is not enough, in my opinion, to be able to help evaluate the needs of each student in our school district. I know that college is not for everyone, but this way those college-bound get all they need to succeed in college if we had more counselors, and those that are interested in the workforce have all the tools they need to succeed in their workforce endeavors. So I am listening. I am also asking Dr. Tomko and President Muniz for that. I did at the last meeting, and I am again, and I know that hopefully we can do something for that for next year's budget. In regards to Clearman Fields, I know someone mentioned it today. I kindly asked Dr. Tomko and President Muniz and Vice President Benemini to please make sure you look into definitely having community access to the Clearman Fields. I think it's necessary as a community. And if we don't see each other for our next meeting before Father's Day, happy Father's Day to all, and thank you.
Vice President Meany, for negotiations.
We have nothing, but do you want me to give my report now, or do you?
Yes, please.
Or just my comments?
Anything you'd like to
Okay.
discuss.
Hi, everyone.
The floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to congratulate Mr. and Mrs. Belleville and all the contestants. Also, the Belleville High School concert, I saw little video clips. I could not attend either event, but they did look wonderful. Dr. Joy Alfano for the 2021 Samsung Solve for Tomorrow. I know you've been involved in this for quite a few years now, and I see that we're very well represented. She made a comment about our video capabilities, and that's because if any of you ever want to just log on, you get a snapshot of what students from all over the United States are doing with their projects to submit for this challenge. So it's very important. I think we are well represented, so I do want to say thank you for always being involved in that program and continuing to do that with our students and getting them the exposure to try to solve some of these issues that affect our environment and our local communities. I want to thank the Junior Women's Club for their donation of books in recognition of Mental Health Awareness Month, because, again, this is very important, and I do agree our counselors are probably very busy with a lot of students that need to talk to someone. Let's see, what else do I have here? I want to thank you for letting me attend the Spring Symposium for 2 days. The National School Board Association had a Spring Symposium virtually, so I got to watch a lot of different workshops and training. It is the second annual one and the precursor to the New Jersey School Board's convention in the fall. So that was very nice and very informative. Finally, some events that are coming up. The second annual community bike ride by the Township of Belleville and the Police Department, Saturday, May 21st, if our families and students want to come out and participate. Also mentioned was the farmers market that will be hosted here at the high school property. If you know of anyone that has any kind of interesting homemade something that they sell and they'd like to go online and fill out an application, we'd love to see you all at our farmers market. And that's really it for me tonight. Have a good evening, happy Father's Day, and we'll see you in June.
Thank you, Ms. Vice President Meany. Mr. Tunis, for governance and operations, or any comments you may have.
Good evening, everyone. I have nothing to report. There was no committee meetings this month. I'd like to congratulate all our students in the Winter Sports Conference Awards. Thank you, Mr. Mara and Dr. Alfano, on your presentation. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the maintenance department for their hard work they did with the outdoor seating area at the high school with the new paver, walkway, and benches, and also the tables. So we appreciate all your hard work. Just want to give a little shout out to the maintenance department. Also coming up, there's going to be a middle school show June 3rd and June 4th. We Will Rock You. I believe it's here in the high school on June 3rd and June 4th. Come out, and that's it. Be a part of that. That'll be great. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much.
Have a good weekend.
Mr. Velez for athletics.
Thank you, Mr. President. Because there were no committee reports, I'm going to continue with my general comments. First off, I want to thank all the student awardees today for all of their efforts, whether they be athletic or academic. You all make us so proud, and it is really something to see, and it's truly indicative of the amazing things our students are doing here at Belleville Public Schools. I also wanted to speak a little bit about the COVID retention. Just from experience as the prior chair of the curriculum committee, I can say wholeheartedly that Dr. Tomko and the full administration and previous president, Ms. Christine Lamparello, worked very hard to develop a rigorous and really comprehensive retention program to ensure that kids really did have the opportunity to seek out remediation courses and other opportunities to really fight and combat the issues of retention that COVID has brought. I also want to talk about the fields. I know everybody has been very vocal, and I think it's great to see that people are really getting involved. Just overall, my comments are just that, these are fields. These are places for our children in our community. They're not garbage cans. So when I go out there and I see trash The amount of trash that I see, it's very despicable, and we really need to come together and as a community and say this is not okay, and that we need to protect our public land and our public spaces, okay? Because this is ridiculous. Lastly, I just wanted to reiterate what everyone has been saying up here, that we've done a lot of great stuff, a lot of great work, and really working to provide all pathways for our students during their time here in the public school district and when they leave. And I think that we need to continue to do that, and I have a lot of faith, and I think that we all need to continue to be positive and continue to stride forward. So thank you all for coming out tonight.
Thank you. For instruction program, Ms. Williams.
Thank you, President. Thank you to everyone who came out tonight. Thank you so much to the Juniors Women's Club for the generous donation of books to our various school libraries. Congratulations again to our students who received awards from the Winter Sports Super Essex Conference and Samsung Solve for tomorrow's team, and those who also received Student of the Month. Another congratulations to our Mr. and Miss Belleville contest winners, and a job well done to all of the contestants who participated in the pageant. Each and every one of you did a marvelous job. Continue excelling in all areas of education, showing your tenacity and dedication. If I could leave something with everyone tonight, I just want to stress the importance of unity. If we could continue to strive amongst ourselves, in our schools, our town, and beyond to promote unity and peace amongst each other. The violence and divisiveness we see locally and abroad is disheartening, to say the least. Please let us all strive to work together and accept everyone's differences while finding common ground to unite to create positive change. As always, keep our schools in your thoughts and prayers. Pray for Ukraine and the other nations facing despair. And lastly, pray for all the victims and families of those who recently lost their lives in the horrific Buffalo shooting. Unity and peace starts with us. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you, Ms. Trustee Williams. So I just want to take a moment, just really congratulate the award winners tonight for a job well done. I want to thank our staff for being here tonight, for all their hard work in making this meeting happen and staying here with us till this time, and also to our media team for covering everything that we're doing right now. You guys are terrific, and I just want to thank you and just kind of single you out and let everybody know you guys work very hard to do this. Happy Father's Day to all my fellow dads out there, and hope you have a blessed time. This weekend we're actually in Stoughton. A lot of you have seen a lot of my media posts on with our crew team. This Sunday is a big event for them, so Thursday, Friday, and Saturday we will be out in Philly for Stoughton, so we're excited for that. Keep them in your prayers that there's no injuries and everybody's safe. And that's it for me. If I think we're good. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?